everybody. Happy Friday. It is Music Forward Open Mic Friday time, and I am so excited to be starting a brand new season, the summer season of Open Mic Fridays. I am your host, Lydia Caesar, and I am just excited to be bringing back the freshest new talent from around the globe. That's what's so special about Open Mic Fridays. So right now, you're probably hearing some great music in the background, jamming out. The song is called Boy Crazy, and it is by Hallie Alice. She was our last season's fan favorite. So yes, you, the viewer, get to be involved in who comes back, who wins special prizes, all that cool stuff. You'll hear about it as we move throughout tonight's show. Thank you so much for joining us right here on Twitch. We are here every other week. And do not forget to subscribe to Music Forward right here on this platform so that you never miss out on what we have going on. So subscribe right now if you have a Twitch account. And if you don't have one, make one real quick and subscribe. I also want you to share this link. Take a second right now, share the link, send it to somebody. Somebody sent you this link, right? Now I want you to pay it forward and just send the link to one person. Say, hey, look, tune in. You're going to be blown away. Tonight's talent lineup, I must say, is incredible. And this will be 1 hour of your Friday night. After this, you can go on to whatever it is you want to do. So send it out to somebody right now so we can fill up this room and, we can have eyes on all this new talent. So before we get started, I want to tell you a little bit about Music Forward and Open Mic Fridays. Like I said, somebody may have just said, hey, tune in and watch me sing, and you have no clue what you're actually tuned into, right? So I'm going to let you know. What is Music Forward? Music Forward is an amazing organization that connects young people from our communities directly to the music industry via career and artist development programming designed to transform young lives, inspire careers, and champion a more inclusive music industry. So Music Forward is basically a bridge. This is the artist, this is the industry, Music Forward. Because the industry is hard. It's a hard, really tough nut to crack. So Music Forward is like that nutcracker, helping these artists bridge the gap and make their way. What is Open Mic Fridays? So Open Mic Fridays is a performance showcase put on by Music Forward. And young artists get to share their talents. They gain exposure. People like you are watching, and they get live feedback directly from industry experts with successful careers in music. That's what makes this open mic so different, right? Don't you hate when somebody tries to tell you what to do and they never did it before? It's like, don't try to tell me how to do it and you've never done it. Well, that's not this, okay? This ain't that. We have two industry experts who I will be introducing you to in a moment who are going to give feedback directly to the talent that you're going to hear from tonight. So right before we get into our lineup, we're going to talk to our industry guests. Well, actually, no, first, I just want to let you know how you're going to help us with the showcase tonight, right? So from tonight's lineup, we're going to have two guests. Two of the artists are going to be coming back for our finals showcase that's going to take place in August. One will be the artist with the most fans in the audience. So that's where you come into play. You have to participate in our poll that takes place after each artist. So whoever you came to see, after they're done, we're going to have a poll on Instagram. You're going to have to head over to Music Forward on Instagram and show them love in the poll. Okay. And the person with the most love shown will be able to come back for our finals showcase. All right. And then the other artists will be chosen by our industry experts. Before we get started with our performances, let us meet our industry guests. Industry guests, please, I welcome you to turn on your cameras. As you're coming in, I'm going to be telling the audience about you. First, we have Linda Septin. She is the CEO of Septien, or is it
Septien?
Septien. Good, I want to say it right. So she is the CEO of Septien Entertainment Group. Septien is acclaimed as the #1 music artist development training studios, according to New York Times bestseller, The Talent Code, Allure Magazine, Millionaire Magazine, ABC Nightline, Dallas Observer, Variety, The Daily Beast, and numerous trade magazines. Period. With over 30 years of successful artists, Septien Entertainment provides the roadmap to the future of an artist's career on all levels. Linda Septien has been proclaimed the kingpin of pop talent with 25 years of successful pop artists to her lineage. Listen to this lineup, you guys. Demi Lovato, Leon Bridges, Selena Gomez, Casey Musgraves, Jenna Rain, Why Don't We, Jessica Simpson, and many others. I mean, like, that list is crazy. Linda, I have a question. Is there something specific that you look for or that you can see in an artist to know that they have that it factor?
Absolutely. I think the most important thing is whether or not they realize they have to do the work. We just guide them and tell them. And if they don't have that work ethic, a lot of artists think, if you'll just take me and make me a star, I'd love to perform on stage. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't work that way. It's a full-fledged business.
You know what I say all the time? I say, nobody's coming to save you. Okay.
Nope.
Because artists, we are entitled people, and we think somebody's going to come and poof, and we're going to be a superstar. And I love that you said that. The reality is you got to do the work.
Right. So, amen.
Yeah, that's awesome. Linda, we're so honored to have you. Your resume is crazy impressive. And these artists are blessed to have you be able to just pour into them today. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Stick around. I'm going to introduce our next industry guest, which is Chuck Nunnally, AKA DJ Chuck, in the building. Chuck Nunnally IV, professionally known as DJ Chuck, the Old Soul, is a homegrown Los Angeles, California DJ, producer, artist, and 1/3 of internationally rising hip hop group Honor Flow Productions. As a DJ and member of HFP, Chuck has performed at historic LA venues such as the Greek Theater, the Wiltern, and the Troubadour, and is a go-to select for private events and organizations such as the Los Angeles Dodgers and Vanity Fair. Including his creative work in the public eye, Chuck has also honed his craft behind the scenes in radio broadcasting, music journalism, live production, and artist consulting. This includes runs at 94.7 The Wave, Apple Music, Soul Train, and Moja Moja. Chuck, we are so honored to have you.
It is a pleasure to be here this evening. Thank you for having me.
Yes. So I want to ask you, as an artist, I love, like, I know I have like what I do before I get on stage. Like, what is it that, like, what are my rituals? What are some of your pre-show rituals?
First, I got to pray. First is the prayer. Yes. My bandmates and I, we always huddle up and pray. And then I always tell people my favorite part about before hopping on stage is when the lights go out and you have the stage and the stairs in front of you. That moment right before you hop on stage. It's like going on a roller coaster at the very, very tip of you're about to drop over. And I take 3 quick, breaths to myself. This is something I started when I was doing public speaking in school. 3 long, deep breaths, and I open my eyes, and then whatever happens next, and I just have fun up there. So that's my biggest ritual is prayer. I clear my brain, I take those 3 breaths and just have fun up there. It's funny, and I know a lot of artists can relate to this as independent artists. That's the least stressful part of the show. Everything else before the show is just stressful. But the least stressful and the best part is like all the stress is out the door once you're on the stage.
Absolutely. Isn't it crazy how you just go into autopilot almost? Like, especially if you've been doing it for a while. You're so right. All of the stuff before is like the craziness. And then you get on stage and it's like, wow, I was made for this.
but it's the fun part. It's the part that makes it all worth it. But it's an honor and pleasure to be here tonight, honestly.
Awesome. Thank you so much. You guys see, we have some heavy hitters, some amazing industry guests who are going to give feedback to our artists. Thank you so much. You two, I'm going to be talking with you and throughout the night. So you'll hear right back from me soon. And you guys may both now turn off your cameras. All right, you guys, let us get this show started. But first, I just want to remind you that the chat in Twitch is open tonight. Show some love. Let us know where you're tuning in from. Also, like, just drop a word of encouragement. This is a really tough journey for artists. Being in the industry is hard, like I said. You never know how far your kind words of encouragement may go. There may be a day where the artist is like, I don't feel like I do this anymore. And they may remember what you said to them on Twitch during their performance. So show them some love and let us get this show started. Coming to the virtual stage, we have our very first performer of the night, Jabari Zaki. Come on in. You may now turn on your camera. I'm going to let the audience know a little bit about you. Jabari Zaki Ware started writing music in his sophomore year of high school. Jabari's poetic style of detailing his ideas and experiences as a Black man living in a modern day, separated, red-lined city like Chicago has led him to performances at events like Kidapalooza, MLK Speech Slam Contest, and Manny Fresh. Ultimately, his high school experience was the catalyst that he needed to see how the architectural and structural setup of his city affects its crime infection and separation. To Jabari, his purpose for creating art is much bigger than the art himself. Jabari, welcome.
Thank you for having me here.
Yes, we're so excited to have you. I'm excited for the audience to get to hear you. I heard you at Soundcheck yesterday, and you are something serious. So tell the audience what they can expect from your performance tonight.
You can expect an unreleased song from an album I'm going to be dropping on July 6th, and it's in Portuguese. It's called Mas Amor, and basically it's just about my my troubles, like trying to create and just create music during like the pandemic, and just those struggles. And I try to personify how that feeling of creativity and my struggle towards like just to reach it or just to create something, and just personify it into like a relationship. So I try to do that the best way I could over this song, and I hope y'all enjoy it. It's
Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, well, listen, without further ado, Jabari Zaki Ware, take it away.
Thanks. How y'all doing? This microphone don't work. It's just for aesthetic reasons. Yeah. Everybody's watching tonight. Chilling. Doing this good music from our artists today. We're gonna get into it. Yeah. Looking at this paper, trying to find some shit to say when I'm waking up at PM, trying to drive to work at 3 and I promise you I'll write some shit tomorrow. I got a lot of things to stain. The stain snow on my roof, drops in the spring, with angles as my roof. Prime me all's my thing, but I gotta write about something. With the help I smoke some weed, but I ain't trying to force shit to get this pen to bleed. Every jet was better when sober, but I feel you're getting closer to leaving. The red eyes and dead lies, no words to forge our closure. I'm fearing this all over, on the boulder on your shoulder. Our future's getting colder, but to make our little girl older, I promise I'll write some shit tomorrow. I got a lot of things to say, a lot of things on my brain, but a lot of things never came. But passion stripped away, the drum beat looped the game. There could have been some pages, my pain arraigned my shame, my aches, my games, chain me into limbo, chasing innuendos, knowing actions free the chains, like corpses in the coffin, hollow pages, bless tomorrow into clay, bless tomorrow into wake another day and ain't a damn thing changed. My one-to-one the most, waxing wanes throughout the days. It aggravates my aspirations, so it's my activation. Even through procrastination, I masturbate to accolades, but I'm jacking off time, backing off rhymes, cause I don't wanna fail you, or being seen in simplistic, but I don't know what to tell you. If we don't speak, my demons sing, cause we done reached the distance. Coming home from work with business assignments in my grave book. Ain't never telling my mama it's your nuisance, slap my face up. So anxious about my future, I blame shit on the past. It's harder reaching out to the present thought I had, but at last, between you and me, I tried to savor sweet. My salty tears were rich, you kiss some sugar on my cheek, and my yellow teeth. We shine on mellow beats to make them line stand out like Vegeta's widow's peak. I love her in the beam with crooked eyes, to just light up anything that breathes from the outside. My time is ticking, girl, I gotta escape them battle cries. Niggas personify the pistols to be analyzed. Bullets echo through the hundreds from the outer minds. Feel the vibration of the spirits, know that bounce prize. To be inked into a sentence by my brown mind. Just know my beating heart is brief if I sound dies. Just know my beating heart is brief if I... Sometimes you gotta let it all out, you know. It's like using the bathroom, you know. That's it. Thank you.
Jabari Zaki, fire. Oh my goodness. I just love the dynamics of that performance, how it just swells and how you're just giving everything at the end. Job well done. Let us call our industry guests in. Industry guests, you may now turn on your cameras. Welcome, welcome. All right. Linda, let's start with you.
Okay. You want me to just take it away?
Yeah, give Jabari some feedback. Let him, yeah.
Jabari, I think you're talented. I loved it. I thought when you said jacking off time, I about flipped out over here. You should have seen my camera. I went, oh, that is so true. We jack off time all the time. I went, did he create that? That was perfect. And I actually love the lyrics. I love your timing was pretty good. You need to, in rap, of course, you've got to have a little bit shorter times to really hit those beats, but that's a whole other thing. So I'd work on that because you were elongating a little too many things to get in there. But the one thing that I would ask you to do, Jabari, is entertain us. And the way you entertain us is to stand up. We don't sit down on stage. So when you're performing to us, you need to stand up and be who you are with an outfit that's who you are and everything, so that we're going, crap, that's good. You know, I mean, you've got your one chance to show who you are. And so if you have that one chance, give it all. Stand up, show who it is, do the whole thing and do something different, because obviously rap artists are very similar. So you now have got to get something a little bit different each time that will help you to, what's the differentiation between you and this rap artist? Is it your brand? Is it your look? Is it something you just have on that's different? Is it something that when you're standing, you do different? But you're going to have to, with 40,000 people uploading every day on Spotify, you got to be different above that noise, as we've heard over and over, but it is a fact. So, hey, take those lyrics and go to the next level by just standing up and being a brand into yourself. But that one line, I flipped. That was great. Flipped. Wonderful.
I think that's great advice, Linda. Thank you so much for that.
Thank
you. DJ Chuck?
Jabari, a couple things. First off, if you had to give me some of your favorite MCs, who are they?
Black Thought.
You could stop at Black Thought, man. I got a Roots poster behind on the camera, man. So you got me on that one.
I'm gonna say Lupe, Black Thought, and I'll put a female artist. I'll put Rico Nasty.
You know what? I cracked a smile when I did research on all the artists tonight before we hopped on here. A couple things. I want to give you credit because one of the worst trends in hip hop in the last decade is people rhyming with their tracks live. You went completely live.
Period. Say it.
You went completely live, no backing tracks.
Yes.
Keep that flow. I see a lot of myself in you at 18, and that's why I cracked a smile in that I see the style you have, the wordplay, the music, and then you have a company, your crew called Spiritual Revolution. What I wanted to ask you is if you had to give me an elevator pitch, give me 2 sentences right now. What is Spiritual Revolution? Like, pitch me right now. Give me 2 sentences what it means to you. Like, what is it?
A place for artists to create, for Black artists to create.
Okay. So when I hear that, I think of my crew, On the Flow Productions, because I came with my crew's name when I was 16. I'm 34 and I'm still running with it. So I want to tell you is You and your crew, I want you to always keep that focus. Always keep what is that mindset of this is who we are, and you need to keep going with that within the industry. That's going to be the most important thing as a label, as a visual, component. That's my biggest advice to you. Because as Linda said, it's not also just about the music. It's how you're going to package your entire brand, your entire movement. So when you're in front of people, of course, I have no doubt just with you sitting down, you have stage persona. Obviously it's hard to do it on Zoom when you're sitting down, you're trying to get into the camera angle. But make sure that stage persona is heavy on stage. You stay true to yourself. And you make sure, that's one thing you have over every other hip hop artist right now at your age. You have a crew name, you have a focus, you have a name, you have a style. Yeah. Stick to that and you develop that. My bandmate Eliminate always says something. To be number one, you got to be odd. You got to be odd. So be yourself, develop your style. Yeah. And it's gonna crack eventually for you. You're in a city of incredible MCs, man. So I applaud you. Keep working on it, keep developing your style, and keep going, man.
Yeah, wow. That's great. Both such great advice. And I have to agree. I think like when it comes to the talent, you're memorable. You just need to now the packaging needs to be memorable as well. And the Afro and the pick yesterday, I was like, okay, he has a thing. Just magnify that, so that when people see you, they know. So what is your question, Jabari, for our industry guests? I feel like DJ Chuck kind of touched on it a little bit because I heard the question yesterday, but go ahead and just ask them and see if there's any more light that they can shed on you.
Yeah. Chuck kind of answered it for me a little bit, but basically my question was just, what's some advice for any artists or local artists trying to start up like their own labels, just for artists only, so artists understanding artists better. And any advice on just how a creative can start something so professionalized and something so, just a business part of the music.
I'm not sure what your question is. How to start up a label?
Yeah, like I know J. Cole, he started up his own label, Dreamville, and he's also known as an artist for putting other artists on just around like his own community. So, any advice on how like artists like me can start up like their own label to give other artists opportunities to express themselves and give themselves a platform?
Well, you have to have certainly a name to be able to do it. If you're going to start your own label, you obviously have to have label services. So that's the hard part, right, Jabari? You've got to have services of distribution, obviously, or unless you're just going to do a digital or an incubator deal with 3 Top. But for us, I mean, we have to have label services for artist development. And it is expensive. I mean, especially the marketing end of it is truly, each artist is spending a good 10 grand a month just getting out there. And, but it works, it does work. And so you've got to be ready. If you're going to represent an artist, you have to do the right thing by them, which means unless you're dividing monetary funds a little bit differently than major, which I hope you are, and the indie is certainly a different formula, but you're going to have to be ready to and prepared to babysit that artist. And that's a tough thing, especially when you're an artist yourself. Yeah. It sounds cool, but Lord, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. And you got a lot of artists sometimes, call a lot more than most people. And so you're going to have to learn to manage and babysit them for sure. That's a big thing, and have funding to distribute and do all the other artist services that are required.
Money, man. It take money to make money, baby. They don't say that for no reason. That's a fact. Okay, Chuck, any words of advice?
On top of what Linda said, also in the babysitting part, that's a whole nother conversation for another day in terms of, knowing how to be a people person, knowing different people's personalities, how to manage them. But also to directly your question, do you know what a DBA is? Doing business as. You need to get a DBA established, and then you work your way up to an LLC. Mm-hmm. Make sure you write those 2 terms down, go Google them, and do your research. That is the first step to you creating it out of a business. Mm-hmm. So obviously we don't have time to get into all that, but you Google those 2 terms, DBA and LLC. That's how you help to establish those things on top of what we said earlier. But those are the 2 steps to establish your label as a business. And copyright the name of your company. That's going to cost you about $2,500. Get a good attorney. Don't sign anything until you know what you're signing. That's the other part of it too.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Well, hopefully not just you, Jabari, but other people watching are taking notes too, because there are some gems being dropped here tonight. If you're in the audience and you came to see Jabari, it is your turn. Head over to @musicforward on Instagram and show him love in our poll so that he can be the fan favorite to come back in August. All right, all of you guys, this has been dope. We're going to move on to our next artist, so you may all turn off your camera. All right, come into the virtual stage. I want to hear you screaming. I can't hear you, but I want to feel you. I want to feel you. I can feel the energy. Yes. We have Kayla Thompson. Kayla, come on in. I'm going to tell the audience about you. Being raised in generations of singers, songwriters, and musicians, music was always a fundamental building block of Kayla's life. In 2015, she recognized her inherited gift of songwriting and shortly after decided to defer from college to pursue music full-time. Good company, Kanye West's a college dropout too. In 2017, she released her first original song, Hold On to My Hand. With each release since, her sound has evolved along with her growing fan base. Now, her latest release, The Remains, she explores a new sound with lush vocals and piercing lyrics that take you on a journey through a withered romance. More important than anything, music has brought her immense artistic refinement and personal growth as she embraces the journey for what is and not just the destination, for what it is and not just the destination. Kayla Thompson, welcome.
Thank you so much. Sorry about that little discombobulation for a sec. I was like, oh, perfect. Yes. I'm so excited.
We're so excited to hear you. You look gorgeous. Tell the audience.
Thank you.
Of course. Tell us what we can expect from your performance this evening.
Yeah. So I'm performing a song that I released right before The Remains, which is called Younger. And that one is definitely really important to me. It's really about kind of my fears in starting music and getting into this industry. Mm-hmm. And it was just scary to be that vulnerable, scary to put yourself out there amongst so many people wanting to do it. And it's, I was writing about just how when I was a kid, I never had those same, precautions or overthinking, and kind of found myself in that place. And so I was like, I need to hone that same freedom that I had when I was younger. And me personally, I found that freedom in my faith. And so that's kind of what you'll hear in the chorus. But yeah, so just sharing some of that.
Yeah. Awesome. All right, you guys, without further ado, the lovely Kayla Thompson.
Thanks. So like I said, this is called Younger. So I hope you guys like it.
Like the wind was made for us, it was easier to fall. My feet felt safe here on the ground. Why am I falling? I know with you just try and we'd just try again. It was easier to fall. My feet felt safe here on the ground. So why am I falling? I know with you it gets easier to fall. My feet felt safe here on the ground. So why am I falling? And I know with you it gets easier to fall.
Thank you guys.
Gorgeous. Gorgeous. That was
Thank
just
you.
beautiful. I'm going to call our industry guests in because we have more. I would love to say so much to you, but I'm going to let them start. DJ Chuck, we'll start with you this time. Take it away. Let Kayla know what you think.
So I want to say first off, from the obvious of you having a beautiful voice and you being an incredible songwriter, something I want to commend off top, and it's something I think younger artists sometimes miss is your professionalism is A1. And it's
Thank
important
you.
to have that, in the industry. That translates sometimes further than your actual talent. People remember that before the talent. And I can see in the way you've talked with us today, seeing some of the previous interviews you've done before, and just how you carry yourself. Your professionalism is incredible. And for an artist of your age, that is something that's going to carry you far. So please, please never lose that. So I think that should be
Thank you.
incredibly commendable. And in a way, I feel like the way you packaged it, you're inviting people into your world, the way you carry yourself, the way you write your songs, the maturity in your lyrics. I'm a sucker for big choruses. I may be a hip hop artist, but I'm a sucker for big pop choruses. And I see that a lot in your songs.
Cool,
So
thanks.
you have a lot, you can tell you have good people around you that were in the industry that have been there, that's giving you game of, hey, look out for this. Maybe you should try this. You can tell you have good people in your corner, which is half the battle in succeeding in the music industry. So you have a lot working for yourself, a lot working for
man.
yourself.
Thank you so much. That means a lot. Like you have no idea. Thank
Yeah,
you for
for
saying
sure.
all that. Yeah.
All right, Linda, give some feedback to Kayla.
Kayla, tell me this. What does this song mean to you? What is it about? Who is it about? And what is your attitude toward it?
Whew, Miss Linda. Let me think. No, this song means a lot to me, like I was saying before. And it's essentially, without going too deep into it, but it's about my relationship with God. And when I first started doing music, like I said, it was hella scary for me. And I still struggle to not put it all on myself, even though, of course, there's a lot of responsibility. But I felt like I had to kind of do it on my own, and I had to like go through the fear of it on my own. But like the chorus, I guess I wrote with you it's easier to fall, with you it's easier to take this risk. Yeah, I guess that's what I'm trying to say. I found that, okay, knowing that no matter what happens, I'm in his hands, I can do this, I can fall, I can just take the leap. And so
Okay, so if that's the case, it requires you have to cry out a little bit more, right?
yeah,
And if you're gonna do faith-based type feeling music and motivational, which by the way, I hate to say is trending really well. I don't mean to call it down to that level, but it is trending amazingly well because we're all hurting from many things, right?
yeah.
And so you're just like this gorgeous person. I mean, you're just drop dead beautiful.
Oh my God.
So if that's the case, you know that you're just drop dead. And
That's what I told her. That girl, you fine, girl.
Thank you.
yeah, you are.
Gotcha.
And so you can't make an ugly face, is what I'm saying. You can't. It's impossible. You're too beautiful. So I would try to make that face. But how you do that is to understand the mixes and register switches, and what you're doing is singing mainly in head voice, right? And
Yeah.
if you could possibly do instead of I mean, if you just get a little bit more power in there,
A little bit more
it
gritty.
would
A little bit more
bring
grit.
people. Yeah, absolutely, it bring people to you to go, oh my gosh, and the chill bumps start,
Right.
and that's called texturizations. And I'm going to say this, and I'm not name dropping. Please don't even say that, but please don't. But I taught Beyonce also, and watching this girl.
You better
and she-
name drop. You better name drop.
Well,
That was
the
a
reason I'm
bomb you
saying that
dropped.
is because she was nobody in Destiny's Child. That's when I taught them, and so it's a long time ago. But the point I'm saying is that when I work with her, she would start something and she would sing it. She said, no, I've got to do this in mix. I got to do this in head. I've got to do this because this is how we tell a story.
Yeah.
When we start a story, we say, once upon a time, there were 3 little bears and the mama bear, that kind of thing.
Right. Yep.
And that didn't go across in that song, but you can do that. So you want to do all of your register switches, all of your major belt feelings so that people, and believe me, I hate to say American Idol feel, but people still do like large choruses. They like large hooks. They like it when you get loud and high. And if it is a faith-based song about God and how much he supports us and puts us through that next ability to go over trials, I mean, that's the easiest music in the world to shout out.
Right.
And I would have you do that, because if we sang the same way 3 times in a row, would people walk away, right? We can't have. I always judge my artist, and Lydia was asking me this. I always judge my artist on would I sit and listen to that song 3 times. And if the answer is no, that means the artist hasn't given me enough. What that really means is Kayla, if I were in a situation of a bar, let's say, and I am, there's 1,000, 2,000 people in the Bomb Factory in Dallas, and that third song, I'm still going to stand there and not go get a drink or go to the bathroom. I'm watching that person going, oh crap, this guy, this gal, this whatever is good. This group is good. And I'm that's what I missed a little bit. And I need that from you. And the thing is, you're such a talent. You've got the voice, you've got the looks, you've got the feeling. And DJ Chuck was right. You've got that whole package. Now we want to take it to how can I express the song with a voice, with all the use of my voice to have the entertainment factor.
Right.
To the fans that will all attract you. I think you totally can get that.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. I love that. One, that's like, I mean, I completely am like, yes. My dad is always like, open your chest. Come on. Like, just belt it out. And so, yeah, I mean, I'm singing in church for sure. I definitely can get there. I appreciate this. This is really good for me.
Faith music is the easiest one to do it. If you truly are faith-based and a Christian, you truly want to shout that out, right?
Yeah.
So it's the easiest. Now it translates to other things too, because there's certainly many songs that we write about that are motivational to us. pain, especially, right? So, but start there. Just start there.
Yeah.
Awesome. All about
Absolutely.
those dynamics and appropriate.
Yeah.
So, Kayla, I'm going to let you ask your question, but I'm going to ask the
Sure.
industry guests if we can give a short answer because we have 3 more artists to hear. Okay, go ahead, Kayla.
All right. Cool. So my question is, what are things that I could be thinking about even now with a mindset of having longevity in this industry? I'm one that's not trying to say I'm going to be touring for forever or anything like that. So yeah, it's kind of like a piggyback off of Jabari, but yeah, what are some things to think about with longevity?
Chuck, we'll start with you.
You know, there's that old saying of having 15 seconds of fame, and 15 minutes of fame. I think because of social media now it's 15 seconds. But I think you have a good comfortability of who you want to be as an artist, and that's going to evolve over time. So you have to keep being on that journey of being true to yourself and who am I, and what is the message, and what am I trying to project? Am I an artist first? Am I a songwriter? Am I a touring artist? Those things are going to change over time. So as long as you're staying on that journey and you're progressing in that journey, keep asking yourself that question and pushing for that truth, you're going to be fine. Your heart's in the right place from what we're hearing. You want this. That's what we're hearing. As long as you want it, everything else will take care of itself. But when you don't want it, that's when it all stops. But as long as you want it and you're on that journey, things are going to work out for itself. And you have to put in the work. When it looks like you're going to continue to do so.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, Linda.
I probably don't agree with the question. I don't think that I think you have to put the goal out there. And if that is your goal, people ask me a lot, can I make it? Well, I don't know. Everybody, why can't you? Do you think Mariah Carey's any different? Do you think Beyonce's any different?
Mm-hmm.
So I think your goal has to be out there pulling you. Like DJ Chuck is saying, you got to pull it yourself. And yes, I do think you can. Anybody can. I have 17,000 artists later that we've trained. I have 682 out there right now. Yes, you can, but they all had a work ethic. The ones that didn't are the ones that didn't get out there. So I think to end this, just make sure that you say, this is my goal and I will stop at nothing.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't, you won't make it in the music industry.
Mm-hmm.
Stop at nothing. And I think you have the talent to do that.
Thank you.
And I think
much.
Linda's some of her first words of advice to you are the words that will keep you. Longevity is mastering a live performance. And you said you don't see yourself touring forever. You can tour till you're 70 and 80. Patti LaBelle just came to the city and sold out with her and Gladys Knight, both in their 70s. If you master stage performance, you can perform forever and make money forever. All right.
Dope.
If you're in the audience and you came to see Kayla, head over to @musicforward on Instagram right now. Show her so much love in our artist poll. You guys, this has been awesome. I'll be right back with you guys in a minute. You may all now turn off your cameras. All right, rolling the show right along, coming to the virtual stage, we have Angela Mona. Come on in, Angela. I'm going to tell the audience about you. Music was Angela's first language before she could properly speak English and Armenian. She learned how to play piano when she was 5. Naturally picked up singing early on, and by the time she was 10 to 13 years old, she began to perform live on stages and write her own songs and stories. She needed her music to resonate with the story, so every single note, so every single she releases is a new chapter. Every chapter is unique with corresponding acts as her alter egos characters play out their roles. Oh, I love it. Whatever she creates, she shares is a product of imaginative thoughts, observations, past trauma, and present emotions. Drama Bomb, which is chapter 4 of the series I Am, is coming out on June 7th. So far, chapters 1 to 3 are out, including the first intermission that's been critically acclaimed by Buzz Music LA and A&R Factory. Angela, I love that you have this whole thing going. You know, you have your chapters and your stories. Like, I love that you're already creating like, you know, legendary status for yourself by setting yourself apart. So tell the audience what we can expect from tonight's performance.
So, hey, first of all, thanks, Lydia, for that. So tonight, it's just me acoustic, one-on-one, very intimate. And it's, speaking of intimate, it's very intimate to my character, Moshi, that's a part of the song. She's the second featuring artist. The thing about this song is I collaborated with a producer and another featuring artist. So she wrote the chorus and the hook. And I wrote this song early on when I was 19, so I'm finally getting it off my chest. So the actual song that's being released is way different than this. This is more like, you know, piano. So I thought, why not? I'm in my room.
Yeah. You can let it all out. Oh, I love it. I love how you set the tone and the story and the build up. I'm so excited. All right, without further ado, Angela, Mona, take it away.
This is Drama Bomb. Okay. You don't know me, but you killed my time, my pride. Shut me down, drown me out. It's just us here now. You don't know me, kill my time. Feel the silence, feel the liars get away from consequence. Well, I'm blurred enough, I can't make it sense. Back and forth sounds putrefied. Please note to self, I'm terrified. Distressed enough, lost in the maze. I would say dream, but it's all a haze. But they didn't care, no genuine haze. Now I carry on while you say it's a phase. Counting my mistakes, you're shallow enough to never praise. So watch the day set ablaze. Should I ask what's your problem? Or should I listen to what it is? Shut me down, drown me out. It's just us here now. You don't know me, kill my time. Feel the silence, feel the drama won't take you further. Why won't you leave me? Why can't you see me? Why won't you ever ask how I'm feeling? You selfish prick. Well, you know it kinda makes me sick. That's right, I didn't care. I stopped, I snared, I'm scared of myself. I hate myself, I brought my anger to make myself better. But that's what happens when they say it don't matter. And when she spreads light, she balls at her eyes. Look in the mirror and I still do not matter. I call myself neutrally, then realize my selfless beauty. But you don't know me, that's what they always say. But we don't know anybody, everybody wants a piece of somebody. Someday the truth will tear with somebody. I hide my fears, I wipe the tears. Yeah, I create your tears to appeal to the peers. I become the fears, traumas, but cover up. When I'm down, higher up, I just need the love. So I'm sorry, guess you can call me shrug. Shut me down, drown me out. It's just us here now. You don't know me, but you kill my time. Feel the silence, feel the light.
Yes, ma'am. It's giving theater. It's giving full on production. It's giving so much. Let's get our industry guests in here. Industry guests, you may now turn on your cameras.
Hello.
All right. All right. Let's start with you this time around, Linda.
Um, well, as I was sitting there listening to you, Angela, first of all, thank you for being a musician. Wow, wonderful. And I loved your piano playing and I loved everything about you. And, just understanding that when you're at a grand piano and being able to captivate an audience is huge. Sarah Bareilles certainly is one of the top people that can do that with a festival of 100,000 at Life is Good. It's amazing what you can do with the command of a piano. I would ask you to stand only because you don't have to practice sitting. You have to practice standing and getting people, much like many artists. You have to really get that feeling. Sorry. The thing that I would tell you is what I need to ask you a question first before I say it. What audience, what avatar are you after?
What avatar am I after? As in audience or as in like my identity?
Both are good, but audience.
Audience, really, it's a demographic of outcasts, people that feel like weirdos in a way, like people that feel like they're misunderstood and just they've been through a lot. They just don't blend in, So that's ideally what my music is aiming towards. But I would say it'd be anyone listening to it. But with my style of music and the lyricism, I'd say definitely people that want to be heard and want to be seen, for sure.
But I think that avatar is everybody. No, you're not four on the floor pop, of course. You're more musician, you're more festival, you're more a lot of things. But you have such a talent in yourself. It sometimes can be a very tough road because it's a small part of the world. Obviously, it's easier to sell four on the floor and get it out there. So your most important thing, because you're so talented, you've got your outfit on that matches your keyboard, that matches your room. I'm looking at this going, I feel like I need to have an album cover here, which is wonderful. That's wonderful. And you need that because you have to be memorable, right? If you're not memorable, you won't be remembered. So you need all of that, but it's a small spigot that you're going into. But so did Billie Eilish, by the way. That was a small spigot too.
Exactly.
And so if that's the case, you need to focus on how you're going to market that out. Because you are that way, you've got a phenomenal voice, phenomenal piano playing, and I would market the musicianship, frankly. If I were over you, I would definitely market that, come see this gal and the musicianship. That's what I would so go for. You're just amazing. You got it all together.
Thank you, Linda. And speaking on what you said about marketing, that's one thing that I'm struggling with, to be honest. And it's so with my music, it's a story. There's a timeline to it. So I'm not just one thing. Like I have different alter egos, characters, kind of like how Tyler, the Creator does, Kendrick Lamar. All these artists, they have different characters within their music, right? So it's like, who out there would be most interested in that realm, like coming into my world? Because I'm not just one singular artist. My name is Angela, right? But there's just different characters that I set up.
But that's what you gamify. I hate to use the word, but that's what you go after. You gamify the fact that you are all different personas.
Yeah.
That's the brand. You just hit it yourself.
Yeah.
That's your brand. So now go after it.
I can see it too. A different single under a different alias each time. Just beat that over people's heads, and I think it'll really stick because it's unique. It's different.
Amen.
Yeah. All right, DJ Chuck.
Angela, surprising you to say that you're struggling how to market it, because when I'm looking at your Instagram before today, visually, I think one of the things I love about you is off top, visually, you have an example of a great definition of visual aesthetic. To me as an artist, social media can be so filled with, with noise and clutter. And I personally get inspired when I see things like that on my timeline. Your fashion, your photos, the uses of analog gear and your music kind of gives this warm feeling that I love to hear in music, what I like to see. Even just look at your filter right now with the VHS. Like you have your own aesthetic that you're trying to communicate to your audience. You have your own universe.
I like
And
to crying out loud, like
right, and I feel like that's important in that you already, even with the multiple characters, you already have a world you're going to invite people in. It does, and I know this is hard to push in a 3 minute, 30 second, singles world of you got to get on the next, Spotify playlist. But the audience is smarter than what you think. They want stuff like this. You mentioned Kendrick Lamar earlier. He dropped a double album last week. People want records like this. People want something to sink their teeth into these days. It's still possible. So, and the fact that I was listening to your earlier stuff, also, you had like a heavy pop production. And there are very few pop stars that can go heavy pop production with their, with the big grand theatrics and strip down to a piano. Lady Gaga is one of the few that come to mind when I think of that comparison. So I think for someone at your age to have already in my mind, I have alter egos, I have a whole universe, and this is the world, and I want to invite people in, you are onto something.
Yeah.
You're 100% onto something. Now it's just a matter of you growing this theatrics and communicating it more to your audience. And I know we're talking about packaging here, and I'll stop after this. I know we're talking about packaging, who to sell it to. The truth of the matter is we don't know who we're selling to in the music industry. All we can do is make the best art we can make and figure out how to package it after the fact. Don't worry about who you're trying to sell it to in the middle of creating it. Eventually, it will get to the right people and it will grow. You may have a cult following, but cult followings, you look at the Grateful Dead, for example, they're around forever. You'll be able to tour forever. You'll be able to sell records forever, stream, or however we're going to get music in the future. So the fact that you're creating your own world, your own identities, I mean, look at David Bowie, for example, that is incredible and something you should be continue to build upon.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Angela, definitely believe in what you have going on.
Of course, I believe it's a healing process.
Good. I want you to really just double down on yourself every day and believe wholeheartedly that everything that you have going on is right. You already know what to do marketing wise. You're doing it. Even just reading your bio, I'm like, oh, this is genius. So just believe that deeper and deeper each day and keep going because the success is inevitable. You're welcome. All right, you guys, if you came to see Angela, it is your turn to do your part. She gave you a phenomenal performance. Head over to @musicforward on Instagram. Show her so much love in the fan poll. And hopefully she'll be back in August. All right, you guys, we're moving on. You may now all turn off your cameras. All right, we're rounded this thing out. Coming up, we got Ratul Pradhan. Come on in, Ratul. Come on in. I'm going to tell the audience about you. Ratul Pradhan is a 20-year-old singer-songwriter originally from Nepal, residing in the US and currently studying music. His style revolves around percussive fingerstyle guitar with indie pop folk influenced raspiness. I'm a big fan of the rasp. I told you this yesterday. I'm a fellow rasp vocalist. Can't wait for the audience to hear you. Tell them about your song that you'll be performing for us.
Definitely. Hey, thank you so much for introducing me. My name is Ratul. And yeah, I am in the US for now and I'm studying music and hopefully, get somewhere in this industry. But the song that I'm going to be playing, it's called Another's. And I wrote this, I think, a couple of years ago when I was still in high school. And it's about infatuation, basically, It's about this feeling of falling for someone who's falling for somebody else of sorts. And, it's about the roller coaster of emotions that you go through. And I think you'll understand what I mean by roller coaster once the song starts. But yeah, that's what Another's is about.
Awesome. Listen, you guys are in for such a treat. Ratul,
Right.
Take it away.
Would you stay for 2 seconds longer? Would you stay in this bubble of ours? Before sunrise, before we pretend, before you go back to him. Can I make all the cliche little signs? 'Cause I know you low-key love them. Can I try and make you laugh a second time? Because it's only him that knows it's true. Oh, your sweet disposition. Another day, another high, another week, another lie, another's arms around you. Another story to grow old, forcing laughter, aching soul, another's body to hold. But I'll hold on to you, and you won't even notice. You won't even try to realize. How can we pretend the wrong conversations were meaningless right from the start? How can we pretend the wrong conversations we talked for months apart? Oh, your sweet disposition. Another day, another high, another week, another lie, another's arms around you. Another story to uphold, forcing laughter, aching soul, another's body to hold. But I'll hold on to you, and you won't even notice. You won't even try to realize. Orgei din, orgei gotha, orgei bog, orgei witha, orgei konga lo. Orgei codes ma pasio, orgei codes ma pailio. But I'll hold on to you, and you won't even notice. You won't even try to realize. Thank you.
Woo, Ratul, you be taking me there with that performance. Let me tell you. Let's call our industry guests in. Listen, normally I will be talking my head off, but the time is spent. But I'm not gonna rush you guys though. DJ Chuck, give Ratul some feedback.
Ratul, you gotta have a brother crying over here.
Okay.
Seriously, like I could envision you playing this record in front of 80,000 people. You have people in the front row crying. This is just you in your living room playing this record. But the raw passion in your voice, the lyrics, this is what we were talking about earlier about performance. When you go on stage, and we've all been at a concert, you're here to see whatever band, and the opening act comes out, you're like, yeah, whatever, who is this? And then afterwards, it's someone that's really good. And they say, wait, it goes from who is this? Who was that?
Yes.
Great act will walk on stage and not a soul will know them, and they will grab their attention and say, this is my time on stage. You're going to pay attention to me because I'm dope and I matter. You're an artist to me that I feel like if you walked on anybody's stage and played that song and anybody else's in one of your songs, you would make fans immediately. That's the difference between an artist that could be here for maybe one song to a career. So off top, your live performance and your songwriting is gonna grab people. There's a saying I have when making music: what comes from the heart reaches the heart. And it's clear whatever made you write that and perform it that way is coming straight from the depths of your soul.
Yeah.
And we can talk about analytics, we can talk about looks, we can talk about everything, but nothing substitutes a great song and a great performance. Nothing.
Thank you.
And right there you displayed that. So that is one thing off the top of just seeing what you have going on. That's one thing you have to definitely keep and enhance as well.
That
Thank you so
authenticity
much.
will
Thank
take
you.
you so far. Linda.
I agree. I had two things that I wrote down, and that is I can see you with a following, and I can see you as you're a very seasoned performer. I don't know how much you have gigged, but you can tell that you can actually, how much have you?
I've actually, I took a gap year before I came here, and I was actually a recording artist in Nepal. But one of my questions was actually, if you don't mind me asking right now, was I don't know how to navigate this industry in America, and I'm just looking for performance opportunities. And like you said, I think mics and opening for artists is something that I'm looking for, and that was actually my question as well. So if just in this aspect of saving time, to ask the both of you as well, how do you navigate this industry here? Because I'm not very sure, and I would love to, definitely.
Well, the short answer is you have a lot of followers, and then everybody wants you because they all want to make money. So there's the short answer.
Okay.
And so if you can, and you can with your voice wrap up 50,000 followers is our lowest level, our key.
Wow.
And then once we do that, once we can get our artist to 50,000 followers, we can book them constantly.
Wow.
And because again, it's about money. And so it's how many people can you bring into any gig factory and be able to produce the amount of money that place needs. So that's all it's about, unfortunately. And you've got to remember that it's always a business. But for you have texturization, you have passion. I would love to hear a second and third song, obviously, because obviously I don't want it to all sound the same. But that one song was stupid good. And looking at you like, oh my gosh, you were almost on the verge of being musical theater. And only when you went into the latter part of the song did I think, this sounds like something from Les Mis, which means you had that much passion.
Yeah.
And that was beautiful. I absolutely loved it. As far as answering your question again, that there's a lot of great singers out there. So you have to, Rital, be on top. And the way you do it in this industry in this time is 7 platforms. And those 7 platforms rule right now. And that's what you have to work on every hour of the day. At least
7 platforms. You mean like Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, what else? What's
Twitch. Pinterest is killing it right now.
Pinterest,
LinkedIn is killing it right now.
LinkedIn.
And then we're already into Web3 and we're out of Web2 almost now. So we're into Web3, and Web3 is causing it to go into your own coins. I won't get on it, but when you do that, you can now capture your own audience. And you all, if I can say anything to you all, if you are not studying Web3 and what's going on, because you own everything on the blockchain, you've got to do it.
Yeah. I hope y'all taking notes. Those are the 7 platforms. I hope you wrote them down. Okay. If you came to see Ratul, it is your turn to do your part. Head over to @musicforward on Instagram. Show him so much love in the polls so that he is the one that comes back in August. We have one more artist for you. Thank you so much, Ratul. Industry guests, all of you may now turn off your cameras. We're calling out our final act. Ari, coming to the stage. Ari, come on in. Ari is a pop electronic vocalist, pop electronic artist, originally from the land of Sweet Tea, Richmond, Virginia. When she's not writing or producing songs inspired by superheroes, books, and plays, she can be found pouring her fourth cup of coffee for the day. I love this bio so much. Her emotional lyrics and infectious rhymes are sure to have you laughing, crying, dancing, and everything in between. Today, she's excited to share an acoustic version of one of her electronic songs. Hi, Ari.
Hello.
Welcome. I'm excited for the audience to get to hear you and your gorgeous voice. Tell them what they can expect from your performance tonight.
Okay, so today I'll be playing a song called Timing, and it's about a few months ago when I met what I thought was the right person. But clearly it was the wrong time because they were talking to somebody else at the same time they were talking to me. So
Too relatable.
yeah.
I think all the ladies can relate to that. Okay, well, listen, without further ado, take it away, Ari.
Tell me that you want me, but you're gonna walk away. Fingers crossed you'd stay. Tell me all your secrets, you know mine, like the back of your palm. Anything is better than to run away and lie. Open my eyes and tell me the truth of the matters you've fallen out of love. You don't want me, I could never know why. I can't hate you though I'm desperate to try. I can't say goodbye, can't say goodnight just yet. Tell me when you knew that I could never be the one. Were we having fun? Were we playing games? 'Cause I'm not sure either of us won. Oh, I keep playing conversations over in my mind. Timing's not right, but we know the truth of the matters you've fallen out of love. And you don't want me, I could never know why. I can't hate you though I'm desperate to try. I can't say goodbye, can't say goodnight just yet. You don't love me, I could never know why. I can't hate you though I'm desperate to try. Can't say goodbye, can't say goodnight just yet. Timing's not right.
Ari, you better talk about that timing with your soul. I love it. Industry guests, come on in. Give our last artist some feedback. Linda, we'll start with you this time around.
Okay. Ari, let me ask you this. You're in what kind of music do you feel like you're playing in? What is your arena that you're playing in?
That is something I'm definitely trying to figure out right now because I'm a songwriter primarily. So if I'm producing myself, we get electronic pop. And then if I'm just like writing, we get a lot of the acoustic singer-songwriter type energy.
Okay, so I get that. I think you are a songwriter, and I think what you're doing is fantastic in songwriting. That's a great song. Vocally, we need a little bit more. We need more. If I can just give you a voice lesson for 4 seconds, you need a little more subglottal pressure and control of your voice because you're doing a lot of breathiness, and we've got to get that under control. But your songwriting was really good. Yes. And also your I so appreciate you playing the piano and doing it. I can tell you're a songwriter. And I think actually that's going to be your, for now, that is where you should follow. Is that something you like more than singing?
I like them kind of evenly, but I feel like I probably write a little bit more.
Well, it's not that you can't be, I mean, singing is just a learned response, just like piano playing. It's no different. People ask all the time, can you teach me to sing? I can teach anybody to sing that's not deaf. That is not hard at all. It's just an instrument that you're born with and you have to learn to place in certain places. But your songwriting is definitely stronger. And I appreciate that. The thing is, though, I'm going to get on to you. You only have 23 posts. Why?
You better get on them.
Yeah,
That part.
I need to post more content and make more content and things like that.
Okay, so I'm going to say something to all of y'all.
Yeah.
You will not make it, just like me. I'm not young, and I have to every day go over 2 hours of 2 hours every day. I have to go through blockchain. I have to go through Instagram, new algorithms, and TikTok trends that I'm subscribed to. Every day I have to do it. It is the new marketing. If you aren't doing it, you ain't gonna make it.
Ma'am.
You've got to do it. You've got to do it.
I don't care how much you don't want to do it. I say this on Instagram. I'm on Instagram telling people how to make easier posts, how to come up with easier content, because it is everything.
It's everything.
It is.
It is she is right. It is everything. And if you don't do it, you won't make it. You will not. So I'm looking at that going, oh my gosh. So go after what your goal is and then get into what that is and then go for it, because you've got an amazing talent of songwriting. I'm sitting here listening to you and it's very good. Your heart is there. So if that's where your focus is, then figure out how you can plant that and land it on all 7 algorithms. And by the way, I'm going to say that again. It's TikTok, IG, Pinterest is, as you well know, a phenomenal situation right now because it is another Google. LinkedIn is killing it right now because there are so few people on it. You can get more attention on LinkedIn right now than anything else. Facebook groups is killing it. Not Facebook. I don't mean that. Not your mother's spiel, but Facebook groups, Web3, and SoundCloud. Those are your 7 places you want to focus.
Okay. Notes. Even I'm taking notes because I'm on like 4. I need to step it up. Okay, DJ Chuck, what's up?
So I can definitely tell with certain singers when they sing from a deep place. There's either they sing from a place of joy and pain. One of the two, can be both. And I definitely can sense that in your songwriting. Linda was right. There were some spotty parts of the performance. It could be shakiness. You could be nervous. Could chalk it up to that. It happens. But, you come back another day, you perform a better on another day. It's okay. But to Linda's post, you did a great job. But to Linda's point about posting, it's not necessarily the quality of posting for me that I want to ask you about your social media. I wanted to know more about you. Like, what is your story? What is you as an artist? And I think you said this earlier that you're trying to figure that out still, which is perfectly fine. Like, that's a journey that a lot of artists are still on. And as long as you're on it, trying to figure it out, that's great. If you're not trying to figure it out, that's an issue. And if you get to a point where you feel like you want to be more of a songwriter and maybe come back to an R&B being later, that's perfectly fine. It's happened to a lot of songwriters before. And I say this to everybody in watching this, and according to everybody who's a part of this today, who everybody writes their own songs. There's more money in being a songwriter and a producer than an artist. Let me say that one more time. There is more money. You can write your own check, literally, if you write your own stuff.
Yes, say
so
it.
If the power is in the pen, so
yeah,
it is if your way in is writing, use it. Use every toolbox you can, because you never know what's going to get you in the door.
And Ari, I want to encourage you to figure it out. It's okay, like to figure it out online. Like you can literally uh, trial and error on your social media. You can ask your audience, hey, do you like this or do you like this? Or do something where, hey, every day this week I'm going to be posting, a different melody or a different style. Let me know what you like the most. Make it interactive and fun. It's a way to build your social media. It's also a way to start to tell your story, and it's a way to figure out where you want to be as an artist. So it's kind of like checking all the boxes at one time. So do you have a question for our industry guests really quickly? Industry guests, just answer it as quickly as you can.
Yeah, I feel like my question is just kind of like every day, every week, I go through the up and down of being like, okay, I'm trash. Okay, I'm amazing. And so how do you balance the like modesty, confidence versus like cockiness in the industry as you're
Welcome to being an artist. Oh my God, we're crazy. I go through the same thing.
It's just part of the process. But I'll just quickly say this. You have to keep, and I said this earlier, you have to keep asking yourself, do you want this? Because there's going to be a lot of people that tell you you're not good enough. Yeah. You're in the wrong industry. Pack it up, go do something else. And I've been told no so many times, and I've talked about this with my bandmates. We've joked about this. There's been so many peers of ours we've, performed with, done stuff with over the years. Said, nah, y'all ain't good enough. Y'all cute. That was the word they used to use. Y'all cute. Y'all cool. They're not doing music anymore. We're still here because we want to be here. So you have to, in the face of everybody telling you no, you have to have this crazy Muhammad Ali, I'm the greatest ever kind of mentality of I'm gonna push myself through this. Yeah. And it's not pushing it upon anybody that you're better than anybody. It's you have to have the attitude of I deserve to be here.
Yes.
If you don't have the attitude of I don't deserve to be here, you really should hang it up.
I agree.
But you should have the attitude I deserve to be here.
Wholeheartedly agree. Linda, do you want to add anything to that?
Well, all I'm saying is I agree. And if you do have that attitude, there may be another silo that's better for you too, that you would excel in and not have that pressure. That is absolutely right.
Yeah. I encourage everyone on here to watch the Kanye documentary if you haven't yet. The Kanye West documentary is 3 parts. It is, if you're an artist, you need to watch it because he had this dream and belief in himself, and to see where he is today and to watch that old footage, it will encourage your soul. If you know this is what you're supposed to be doing, you need to watch that documentary. It will definitely help fuel you along your journey. All right, you guys, if you came to see Ari, it is your turn. Head over to @MusicForward on Instagram. Show her so much love in our poll. Industry guests, thank you so much. You guys have just been amazing tonight. You have given incredible feedback. I have been encouraged as well as an artist and taking notes also. I just think this platform is just wonderful. So I just want to say a resounding thank you from the whole Music Forward family for your time and dedication to this cause and this mission. And all of you may now turn off your cameras. All right, you guys, we did it. Thank you so much once again, Linda and Chuck. You guys gave such amazing advice. And thank you to the phenomenal artists that came and showed up and showed out tonight. We had an incredible first episode of the new summer season. All right. So in the meantime, Music Forward summer programming is picking up steam. So make sure that you check out the summer program blog that is in the chat. Okay. This summer, we are bringing you a summer masterclass with United Talent Agency, another national resume workshop that's going to give you access to internships and companies like BMG, and as always, more open mic Fridays. So if you want to apply to perform, be sure to follow the link that is in the chat right now. Once again, I am Lydia Caesar, your hostess with the mostest. I love hosting Music Forward Open Mic Fridays. Tell your friends and everyone you know about it. It is such a pleasure of mine. And thank you for joining us. Have a great night. Peace.